What's good, bros? It's Biscuit. We out here in Brooklyn right now at the Curbo. Shout out Hip Hop Made Me Do It, Toasty, and God. Thanks for having me, bro. I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying?
On the block, verified, fuck a Twitter name. Spill a cup, I be leaving $100 stains. Take that A train to a plane, to a drop top. Authentic on my head, hoodie said knock knock. Used to make plays out the crib, that's a hot spot. Make sure you turn the middle, bottom in the top block. Yeah.
DJ Toasty Z, you already know, Hip Hop Made Me Do It. We're with the one, the only, Biscuit.
Hey, what's good? I'm Biscuit. Shout out my man, Hip Hop Made Me Do It, Toasty, West Mass, Jersey, all that. What's good?
For sure. And for the people that don't know, I guess you're the owner, creator of Authentic Wear.
Yes, sir.
Now, first of all, I want to ask you, where'd that name Biscuit come from? It's a
man.
unique nickname, so.
Yeah, thank you, bro. Well, actually, it's funny because people, I grew up in Maryland. I lived in Maryland for 10 years from when I was 17. And people out there just started calling me that. And it was always funny because every time I'd ask somebody, like, why are you calling me that? It was always, like, a different meaning. Like, they'd be like, some people said it's because of my skin complexion. I was, like, a little golden. Then some said I was, like, a little bit, like a biscuit. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the meal, like. And it was mad funny because, like, I'm not even the biggest fan of biscuits. But when I moved to New York and I, like, made it my social media handle and so forth, that's when it popped off. Everybody calls me Biscuit. Like, they refuse to call me by my real name sometimes. Like, I remember one time I went to, like, the Supreme store and I was like, yo, like, I was talking to my homie that works there and I was like, "No, can you hold a bag for me?" He's like, "Yeah, what name you want me to put on the bag?" And I was like, "Albert." He's like, "Your name is Biscuit. Like, we're putting Biscuit on the bag." Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, for sure.
And I just knew there. I was like, "Yep, that shit is mad funny." But
Word. And I'm curious, like, before we get into, like, Authentic, I was curious, like, how you even started getting into, like, making clothing.
well, it's something I was always interested in. Growing up, my mom, she used to like cut leathers and stuff like that, and she would like put like. You ever seen that meme where they're like that your mom be dressing the kid like the person that broke her heart? Like, I felt like my mom got her heart broken with like a biker dude because she was always like cutting leathers, wanted me to wear like leather vests and stuff. And she actually wanted to be a designer. She actually dropped out. She went to FIT and she dropped out to pursue it full time.
Word.
Unfortunately, that didn't like work out for her, but she always like gave me style points and so forth.
For sure.
And I had just like, I'd go to like stores and like pop-up shops and it was just always awful experiences. It always felt like although the customer was willing to wait 20-something hours in line to just spend all this money, they were still being mistreated and so forth. So like I said, at one point it's just like, like, fuck that. Like, why am I going to wear this and that when I could just wear this and that? You know what I mean? Like, shit that we make. And it's like great because it's like, these are things that like, I like, for example, we made a backpack and I didn't have a backpack. You know, like I was going to work and like holding like my work clothes in like a plastic bag and shit like that. So when we got the backpack, I was able to put it in there. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't have a jacket, so like I made a jacket type shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's shit like that.
That's dope. I think a lot of times streetwear, it's like a cool piece, but it's like the application real world use is like not that much. It's like Supreme making a crowbar. It's like cool, but it's like it's more of like a joke about it. But it's like
an ironic thing.
Using like stuff that you would actually use and looks dope. Like
it's a win-win. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I love that shit.
So when did you like? Is there like a distinct moment where you started like making your own shit and like?
Well, the distinct moment I guess you could say was that it was like I said, like I was on both sides of the barrier. You feel me? Like I was one of the people that would wait 20-something hours in line for a pair of Jordans or like some Supreme or something. And then, like I said, I always felt mistreated and like not that I expect people to like maybe that was my fault for putting those employees and so forth on like a high pedestal. Just at the end of the day, no offense to them, but they're still like folding t-shirts and such. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of like a glorified thing, but it's because of us that we made it glorified. At the end of the day, those motherfuckers just getting their check. The high piece
culture,
exactly, and they're paying their rent with it. Like they're doing what they need to do. You know what I mean? So like with kids like us and so forth, like it always felt like this wasn't enough. Like I felt like it was like that feeling of just spending to just get and not seeing anything from it. Like I feel joy, for example, like when I see like, I'm like when I see Vinny pop out on stage and he's like wearing a Puerto Rico shirt because I know his story that's connected to Puerto Rico. And I'm thinking about, I'm thinking about how there's a girl out there that's also a customer, like she's a regular customer that she lives in Puerto Rico and she's always wearing the shirts. And I think that's just like beautiful because it's like my dad lives out there and stuff. And like, what if one day my dad was like, yo, you want to design clothes? Like that doesn't really sound that smart. He didn't say that's stupid, but he didn't sound that smart. You know what I mean? So like one day, like what if he's just shopping at the supermarket and he just runs into my homegirl, you know what I mean? That's wearing the shirt. He'll be blown away. He'll be like, what the fuck? Like my son doesn't even live here, But I guess to answer your question, the final moment was just, being going to those places and being mistreated, like going to like I've seen employees tell customers shit like, oh, like, yeah, it looks good on you, like that fits you, like just shutting them up so that they can spend their $400-$500. And I remember one time specifically I went to a pop-up shop and I seen like this jacket didn't fit this girl, but like this guy was pushing it on her. Like the employee was like,
Yeah.
yo, like, fits you. Like, don't even think about it. Like, just buy it. Like, just buy it. And it was obviously commission based and so forth.
Yeah.
And I pulled up and I'm like, yo, like, shorty, like, no offense, but like that jacket is like, it doesn't look good on you. Like, if you don't mind me saying, like, it's not to be an asshole. It's just like to be honest. And I don't think you spend your money on it because it's not that great. Not in my business anyway. Push comes to shove, I got escorted out the store. So I was just like, yo, like, I obviously hit a nerve. You know what I mean? Like with an employee or something. Not even the girl, but an employee.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? Fuck this, bro. The homie that I was with, I was just like, yo, let's just go in on some t-shirts, see where it goes.
Yeah, for sure.
We made 70 t-shirts, and then we had 2 pop-up events. 70 t-shirts flew, and it was just like, this is a sign that people like that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Because at the time, too, when we first released clothes, like when we first doing it, it was like really literally shit that I only saw me wearing. Like our first shirt was like a Tabasco bottle. Like, that's my favorite hot sauce.
Yeah.
And like Sakura from Street Fighter, you know what I mean? Like, that's my favorite game. And like with time, I've been able to like see like the people that wear it and like how I want to branch out with it. You know what I mean?
For sure. And it's funny because I think a lot of these companies are like, oh, what do the like youth want? What do the kids want or shit? And it's just like, if you just design some shit that you want to wear, if you think it's dope, other people are gonna think it's dope.
Especially, it's a beautiful thing when others think it's dope, because when it connects and so forth, it's just unbelievable. You feel me? Like, it's just like, you know what I mean? Like, I just remember like waiting all the time to see what the next clothes would be, this and that, and the fact that just people that hit me up. Like, I actually have a homie out in London. Shout out like fucking tapping them. You know, these are good kids because these are motherfuckers that, you know, my man, he's the older one out the group, and he's an adult and shit like that. And he has a kid. He's a single father living out in London, Birmingham. He was like, yo, like, you know what I mean? Like, he was saying that he saves all his money and so forth, like, for his daughter, but that he set some aside for him and his little homie to wear authentic and shit like that.
That's fire.
And because those two were inauthentic, now their whole group were authentic. You know what I mean? Like, they're like a rap group and stuff like that. So I definitely like hope the best, and like whenever I see them post their music and stuff, like I'll repost and so forth. Because it's like, I ain't never been over there before. You know what I mean? But y'all are over there all the time. Like, the package made it there before I did. Like, I think that's so crazy.
That's fire. That's fire. And were you, when you were like going to these stores and shit and noticed, like, were you just like more of a fan, or were you like trying to resell shit? Like,
completely a fan.
Yeah.
Completely a fan. I the only time I ever vividly remember like reseller was like when like when it was like to get like something else that I wanted. You know what I mean? Like wasn't really often like I was a fan of
you
this
weren't
shit.
trying to make it a business or anything, no.
I just wear it, you know. I don't know if you want to see this.
No, I'm good right now. Yeah, I don't want to get too wavy. Plus, the Cal interview, it like made me look like not like a fool, but like I was coughing. I got a bitch cough. he's like, yo, yeah, take your time, cough a little bit, but you know, it was a funny moment, you know, raw funny moment. But,
speaking of which, shout out Cal.
You already know.
You already know, bro. That's the fan right there.
For sure. Vinny Fanta, Juice Wayne.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know where I was gonna go from there. So okay, so you know you started making these clothes. Was there like, how's it like evolved over time? Like,
what do you mean, like
just
like
authentic,
as
just
a
like
whole?
just as a whole, either like graphics wise. Yeah, I guess graphics wise, just to start off. Like, how do you feel like it's developed?
Well, I think honestly, it's kind of crazy because I feel like right now it's like at an all-time high compared to what it was, because like I expressed before, like the first drop was like, let's do things that we like I like Tabasco, I like Street Fighter, shit like that. Now it's kind of like on some like, you know what I mean, like it used to be like just graphics on t-shirts and stuff like that, but like now I'm like really into like trying to do like cut and sew and like tonal embroidery and such like that.
For sure.
Like, you know, like raised print and like putting things in different places. Like, you know, that this most recent sweatshirt that we released is like the Volcano one. It's like that's definitely our best piece quality wise next to our backpack, because our backpack was cut and sewn, but
Yeah.
that hoodie's like a very expensive blank, like it's good quality, this and that, and like I actually took a ruler to a hoodie, you know what I mean, and like beforehand was like seeing like where exactly I wanted it, and it's like crazy because it's like standard measurements, like you'll see like, you know, the standard measurement is maybe like 3 inches from the neck by like a certain amount of inches wide, and like that I did it like 2 by like 10.5, like it felt like some designer shit, like it felt like to see like how I imagined it like in my head, and then now I'm wearing it, it's like on some like high
So
quality.
it's like more hands-on versus like, I think a lot of times when people are making, starting out making tees, they're just like going through a company or whatever, but you're doing like the more like,
and like
hands-on shit.
And like, you know, I'm very inspired. Like I'm the first to pay homage to the things that I love and so forth. But like I feel like now more than ever it's really be like a lane that's being built. You know what I mean?
For
Like
sure.
I feel like without even thinking about it, like that's what's so crazy about it. Like although I'm conscious of it, at the same time I'm like completely unconscious of it, because like it's crazy to think that like I put on a hoodie with like a hoodie you made, sweatpants, the backpack, and like a cap, and it won't be until I'm like 40 minutes, like I've left the house already for like an hour or something,
Yeah.
and I'd be like, wait a minute, this whole outfit matches.
Yeah.
But different pieces came out at different times. So there's no way I was thinking about it at the time. Now I'm using that knowledge to think about it at the time, literally.
Yeah.
And like, you know what I mean? It's like crazy because
It's like hindsight.
exactly like, how does it that the sweatpants that came out when I was 19 years old match the hoodie that comes out when I was 23 years old? Like,
Yeah.
literally like a match. Like,
For sure.
Like, it's like crazy, and I wasn't even thinking about it, like, not even to the slightest degree.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's so beautiful. And like, I was talking to my homie the other day, and he was like, yeah, like, starting to get deep. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's just like, bro, like, I literally took off my jacket, my sweater, my long sleeve, and my undershirt, and it was authentic. Like, it's like starting to get deep. Like, I could put on the pants, or wear the t-shirt, or wear the jacket, or wear the cap. And it's like crazy to think that when we started with 3 t-shirts, it was like, how are we ever gonna get there? Like, how are we ever gonna make like a full release? You know what I mean? It's just like, and it speaks for itself, because, you know, everything that we've seen off of the brand has just gone right back into the brand.
For
so
sure.
like, it speaks for itself. It
sure.
speaks how like a t-shirt, like a 3-color t-shirt is now, you know, was the start of a fucking, you know, fire ass sweaters and stuff like that.
Yeah, and how long have you? When was that first release? How long have you been doing it now?
That was well, theoretically speaking, well, not theoretically, Buffalo wrong word. Like, I don't know, like we made the clothes. We were sitting on the clothes we got it June 2014, and we sat on them. We were like, all right, we want to execute everything properly. Like, we want to get the right photos, the right website.
Real launch,
like, really, like, think about it exactly, a real launch. And, you know, it was beautiful because it even got down to us, like, numbering the t-shirts and so forth like that. Like, that's how I know we made 75, because I myself put a marker to the collar and put 1 out of 75, 2 out of 75, 3 out of 75, you know what I mean? And we sat on it for a while. We weren't sure what to do. And then that's when it was like, oh, you know what? Like, why don't we have a pop-up shop at the Good Company? And then we did it back-to-back days at the Good Company. But it was like, at first it was supposed to be one. But that night it was so good. My homie was like, my other homie that I did the clothes with, Gabe, shout out Gabe, Newgrounds and all that. He literally turned around to the owner of the Good Company. He was like, if I gave you more bread, could we do another one tomorrow? And he was like, it's good as long as you guys, you know, don't destroy anything.
Yeah.
And that wasn't happening at all. So I was like, all right, bet. Sold even better.
Yeah.
So it's just like, fuck, like, we don't even have t-shirts to put online.
Yeah.
So I don't consider the first online release until November 2014.
Okay.
But the first time we received product that was authentic was about June 2014.
Oh, word.
Yeah, it was like a silly little, like, you know what I mean, like, unsurety of things, like, because we just wanted to make sure that shit was like on point, and then it just came out on point. It was better than ever. So it was just like, yeah, that's pretty sick.
What up?
Hey,
How's it going?
it's okay. Papers, I have bamboo.
You already know.
That's what has to happen.
Yeah.
Toasty.
Oh, God.
Nice to meet you.
Right.
Holy cow, make music and shit too.
Music is what it's, I don't know, it's what it is.
Oh yeah.
What it is. That's all it can be.
Quarter?
So yeah, I was just trying to think. So besides like your everyday like life, what would you say like some of your biggest influences are?
Like, what do you mean, like
Where do you draw inspiration from for your clothes?
Well, I mean, Dirtbag. That's like a, you know, words can't even describe like the love that I have for that shit. Like,
Yeah.
I love Dirtbag. I love Phil. The Good Company. You know what I mean? Of course, Supreme and such like that. I haven't bought Supreme in a while, but
Yeah.
I've always kept up because those guys are just doing like some other shit sometimes. Like, it's just
Yeah.
like, what the fuck? Like, it's
For
crazy.
sure.
And then let me see, like, what else? You know, like Stray Rats, such like that. And, you know, even the people around me and so forth. You know what I mean? Because, like, for example, like, I'm always trying to make authentic as like a platform.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I want it to be that like authentic could like potentially put its name on something, and that like, you know, motherfuckers could like come together to do some stuff with it.
For
Like,
sure.
For example, like when we had the Tawny Cow mix. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I don't make music. You know what I mean? They came together to make that for the sake of authentic.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like that's so crazy to me, because it's like, you know, that I want to do stuff like that, but like, for example, like maybe have a friend, you know, design a T-shirt, or
For
like
sure.
have a friend do the website, or have
Yeah.
a friend be the one to take the pictures of our friends modeling.
Just a collaboration.
Exactly. Like, and
Yeah.
you know, I think that's like what's so sick, because like our last drop did pretty well, and I truly think it's because of the people that like helped with it. Like,
Yeah.
my homegirl Lauren, who shot it, my homegirl Ruby and Diego, who modeled it. And, you know what I mean? Cal and Tony came together for the mix. My homie Adonis like touched up the website, this and that. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like, it's like stuff like that like, you know, when it boils down to it, that like, you know, when we get to the graphic and so forth, it's not just the graphic. You know
For
what I
sure.
mean? Like,
It's a movement.
exactly.
you know?
And like, I'm trying to like kind of make it like a tidal wave that like, but doesn't like disappear. Like, it just like, it stays consistent, but it's like every time it comes, it's just like, okay, this is undeniable. Like, this is the shit we got to do.
For sure.
Then of course, you know, besides the everyday influences, you know, like I just music and stuff I like a lot, movies and such I like a lot. Like, I love all types of horror movies. Like, that's something I want to do too. I don't want to like speak it too early into existence, but like I kind of want to do like a short film, like horror lookbook, like a horror short film, but in the lookbook
fire.
sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And shit like that, like, because I like horror movies a lot. You know what I mean?
for
So it's
sure.
like it's always trying to tap into what is like deeper in what I fuck with. You know.
What would you say your favorite horror movie is?
Damn. You know, it's kind of funny you ask that because it's like although like I know they're awful, like Saw 1 and 2 is like the shit. You know what I mean? Like I love Saw, but also other ones too. You know, like Psycho and like Carrie and stuff like that and shit like that. It's funny that you know what I mean, like. I talk to my homie Mikey about like horror movies like all the time.
Yeah, I see he's always posting stuff on Instagram story.
And we're always trying to just I'm always like, you seen that? And he's like, you seen that? And I'm like, oh. And I know that when I haven't seen it, I watch it later.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I haven't been able to stump him yet, but there's been times he's throwing movies at me. I'm just like, what? Like, let's get it.
Yeah,
dude. I gotta watch it. And they've been pretty sick.
Yeah, it's interesting because you can see like him and Black Fleece, like the music they do together. A lot of it seems like very inspired by horror as well.
Daddy's Home?
Oh yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking about.
Like a horror soundtrack, bro.
Yeah.
That shit is crazy, to be honest. Like, when I listen to that, I'm just like, yo, Nigel will kill me. There's no doubt about it.
And I was also curious about that, like the Tawny Cow comics. How'd that come about? Was it just like some?
That shit was beautiful, honestly. Because my phone, I'm trying to find this dumbass lighter. It's all good. It's all good. You know, that was a beautiful thing because I just pretty much, you know, I reached out to Tony because I had an idea. I wanted to like include a mix with every release of clothes.
Yeah.
So every time we drop like anything, because I want to do also one item a month this year. So if we do one item a month and that works out with a mix as well, that's just a lot of content coming.
Yeah, for sure.
And then that's where authentic content. That's what is like listed as an artist. That's where that came up because it's just like, oh, like that's authentic content. Like that's like, you know, it's not like over the top. Like we're not like on some like authentic records or something. You know what I mean? And like, don't get me wrong. Like if that's what you want to do, so be it. It's just like authentic
just real.
content. Exactly. Like you might open up the website and you'll see like an editorial from a homegirl. You know what I mean? It's like mad fire. And like that's the content. You know what I mean? And she did what she did, what she wanted to do it. And it's crazy that was also named that because that is, you know, no pun intended. That was very authentic. It was very genuine. Like, reached out to Tony. I'm like, yo, I'm trying to make a mix. He's like, oh, say no more. Like it's all good. Like
it's all love.
And you know, I thought he was gonna hit me with like a mix, like you know, his favorite songs.
Yeah, no,
the songs he liked. You know what I mean? Like, kind of like his fader mix. You know, and you know, he was like, come to my house and shit. And I was just like, okay, like I don't mind coming.
Yeah.
And you know, when I pulled up to the house, you know, in Washington Heights and shit like that, like there was no music being made, no nothing. Like there was nothing on anything yet. Pull up, Tony opens the door, he's wearing a Baby Glock shirt and authentic sweatpants.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, okay, like we're right into it. You know, we go sit down, start rolling up and shit like that, and he's like, yo, I'm gonna start making the mix. And I was like, all right, cool. And he just starts like hitting on the beats. First off, he pulls out a VHS, puts it in the shit, samples from the VHS blindly, mind you. There's no television or anything. He's just like listening to it on like a speaker or like the speaker. And, you know, he's just like, okay, this sounds cool.
Yeah.
Real quick.
He's on a totally different wave.
Yeah, and like, you know what I mean? I'm just like, motherfucker, what? Like, you just did what now? And I'm like talking to him, and he's just like, yeah, like this is how I'm gonna make the mix. The whole mix is actually gonna be from VHS cassette. And at that point, I was like, oh no way, because like I said, I thought it was just gonna be like, you know, like Tabby and then like another song, and like Stand on the Corner, you know, stuff like that. Like I just didn't think it was gonna be like all original. And then he just makes the whole shit, and you know, we're just still smoking and so forth. And Cal, like, I don't know if I missed the cue. I don't know if they talked about it beforehand or anything like that. Maybe I didn't see the eye look between the two. But you know, we're just there chilling and stuff, and Cal's just like, all right, I'm ready. And I'm just like, oh, we're about to go to the store or something. He's just like, no, we're talking about like, these beats is hot. I'm about to lay down a couple verses. And I was just like, no way. Like, you're not about to do that.
Yeah.
Did that shit I think it had to be 1 or 2 takes. Like, he did that shit so quickly. Because I must have gotten there maybe about 12 o'clock. And I left about like 8:39. So it wasn't a lot of like idling. It was just kind of like getting right to it. And, you know, just knock that mix out. 1, 2, 3, bro. It was amazing. Like, I couldn't, like, you know, I had described what I wanted from like Tony essentially, and he just did that so like he set such an unbelievably high bar. Like I can't
for sure.
Like this is something I want to do often, and like I'm just not really sure where to go from it right now. You know, because he just did so well. Yeah, and it's just like crazy.
How do you top that?
I don't even know where to start. You know, I mean, there's definitely places that we're looking, but just right now it's like wow, like I'm really letting that one play because that was good. And you know the length and all that was perfect. We were able to get on the website so like people could shop, and like listen to the mix at the same time. Like I think that's fire, and it's the perfect length. It's 10 minutes.
Was it like an autoplay thing? Like you get on the website, that's perfect.
Yeah, and it's like, and we kind of did it like it was like without even thinking about the link of the mix. Like we were just like, all right, let's see how long it takes. And like if you started from the beginning of the website to the checkout, like slowly, it'd be like 8-9 minutes. Yeah, and the mix is like 10 minutes. Like why not finish it? Type shit. You know?
Yeah.
And it was just like, you know, it was good. And after it was all said and done, my man made like literally like 2 pounds of chicken cutlet and like mad mashed potatoes. Like it was just so much fucking food.
Yeah.
Like he just made that just on some like, all right, like it's finished. Like let's just cook.
It's feast. Yeah.
Yeah, and he just shut it down in the kitchen. So that's why it was like a great day, just in general. Like
For sure.
just a very like an experience that like I feel like not many people will ever see, and I'm like thankful for that because it's like, you know what I mean. Like it's just like some shit that just I don't think. You know what I mean? Unless they want to do it again, that's up to them, and that's perfectly fine. But like,
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know if they'll do that again. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
like, it's a great idea though. They definitely should. I'd love that. But like, you know what I mean? Like it's like cool to see how like that came about. It was
Yeah, for
firsthand,
sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they have
First
like,
try, too.
They have a next level of chemistry. Like just
Exactly.
talking to Cal, you can tell like, you know,
They love each other.
unreal.
Dude. That shit is tight, and you know, there's no misses in there, dog. And there's a lot of good things coming their way, and I'm thankful for that.
Yeah, I'm
thankful
excited.
for
Yeah, they're making big moves, big things happening. So is that your idea for future like releases? Is to do more mixes, or do you want to like? What kind of like content do you plan to be like putting out with the clothing?
Well, right now it's definitely the mixes, as I described before. Like I think like a short film lookbook would be sick, mainly because it's like you know executed well, not just the lookbook, so it's not just literally like clothes or all that, but like maybe like a 30-40 minute like actually genuinely entertaining like short film. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then like it's also on some like by the way, like this is like those clothes being seen are going to be released at this time. You know what I mean?
For sure.
And I think that is pretty cool. Like that would be some good content. Like ultimately, always like editorials and such like that. Like enlisting different people to take the pictures and stuff. And we're actually working on like kind of like a hardcover like book too. Like it's not like it's not like a book because we ain't been in the game like that long to be on some like Supreme Rizzoli shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's like on some like kind of like a magazine in a sense, but it's like a hardcover magazine.
Oh, for
like,
sure.
Like it's
For
not
sure.
it's not the end. It's not anywhere near the end. It's not really even just a recap. It's just shit to put together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, the mixes, of course, too. I thought about going deeper in with the mixes, and since, like I said, Cal and Tony, they like set such a like a standard that, like, for example, like instead of enlisting one person, why not enlist two?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that'd be sick if maybe I can get like blank to work with blank, or like I was thinking like beautiful dog. That's like the homies Chip and Tobias. Like when they work together, they're beautiful dogs. So like that'd be kind of cool to like enlist it like that. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Or like maybe two people that I like that also know each other, and I could bring it together on some other shit. Like just being like, yo, like if I could give y'all some bread to just come together like and do this, and like essentially like I'm paying for a beat or something like that, or like I'm paying for a verse from you, just to see that like happen. Because maybe I think I could do it. That's something I wouldn't mind doing either. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Yeah.
And I guess you kind of touched on this a bit, but like, what would you say authentic like stands for besides like authenticity? Is there like a?
Well, I mean, truthfully, you know, it's just something about. It's something that like I want people to feel like they can gravitate to. You know what I mean? Like it's not even about like it's not just on some like, oh, I'm real because I wear this shirt or something. Like it's just more or less like, you know what I mean? Like growing up and so forth. Like I was like an only kid, and like a lot of things that like you know I was like getting fly and so forth, and like that was kind of like a way that like I represented myself and such, you know, and like. It wasn't until like I was able to see like how the craft is and see that I could firsthand do this, and I could, just like anybody else, I could firsthand do anything I want my phone.
No, it's all good.
You could just do whatever you want, you know.
Yeah.
And you don't have to box yourself in and all that. And like I want people to, like I said, to feel gravitated towards it. Like when they see a shirt or something, it makes them like feel a way. Like it's not just on some like, oh, like this is hot. Like let me just wear the shirt because like that's cool too. Don't get me wrong. And like I'm sure for a lot of people it's like that. But it's like, you know, like when they see like a piece that like means something to me, that they're able to be like that. Like, you know, we made this quarter zip once, and like it's like, man, people are always talking about how sick it is and stuff, and I'm just like, that's sick because that's like something that like, you know, when we have the means to do it and we're able to do more of it, that's exactly what we're gonna do. You know,
yeah, for sure.
We're gonna be on some like trying to make like more clothes and such, like actual like not just t-shirts.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that like I've always been the type to just like kind of own my own style, like just go to the thrift store, see what's cool. It's like you know, it's nice to have like, you know, there's some cool brands, Supreme and all that, but it's like it's nice to kind of create your own unique style. Exactly. And like
it's all a part of it too, because it's like, you know, like one thing that I think is always mad funny too is that I have a friend who out in LA who wears mad like designer, but he also wears authentic. And not saying that like authentic can't ever achieve that, but like, you know, I'm not seeing it as like a designer brand, but like it'd be mad funny because like I'll see him in like authentic sweats and like Raf Simons sneakers and like you know, like a Rick Owens t-shirt or something. I don't know, like I've never actually owned any of that, but like it's mad funny to like to see that because it's like, oh, like that's fire. Because you see, like, the way, I feel like another thing that's mad beautiful about how authentic is still early, like, early enough for me to, like, firsthand see this, like, still be able to see is that, like, how people have experiences of different, like, authentic pieces. Yeah. And, like, I'm still close enough to be able to hear that. Like, I've talked to people that have been like, hey, bro, you ever been going 80 down the freeway, like, with a girl, and, like, the sun's coming up because y'all been out all night smoking and shit like that, hitting the blunt, and, like, you're wearing your tie-dye authentic shirt. And it's just, like, I actually have never experienced that, you know what I mean? Like, that's lit as fuck.
It's cool to see how people are experiencing the brand, not just from, like, a computer screen, but like also like first
exactly, just wearing it. You know what I mean? And like I think that shit is tight too, because like I remember very early on we made this shirt called Decanters, and like my homegirl who like was very shy and stuff like that, like she didn't even want to model and shit like that.
Yeah.
I hit her up. I'm like, yo, I think you should do it. Like I think you just take these pictures first real quick. If you don't want to, it's all good. But like I think that you'd be a good look for it. Push come to shove, she was with it.
Yeah.
You know, a couple shoots later, she got seen by like Vogue and shit like that, and she went to a Vogue party wearing her authentic shirt.
That's fire.
And I think that's fire too, because I ain't never been to a Vogue party, and like
Yeah.
she was just on some like 6 months ago, like I wasn't even trying to do this, and like now I'm fully trying to do it. And like she's wearing like the first thing that she modeled essentially
That's fire.
at this Vogue party. Like I can only imagine people just like walking past and be like, how many people she met that night? Those probably like, wow, the t-shirt's nice, and like you're nice too, and like you know what I mean, shit like that.
Yeah.
And it's like wow, because like I said, I never experienced that.
You in like a very well, I guess it's not even indirect, but in a very direct way, you open up opportunities for her that like, you know,
just being on some like I think you look good for it.
yeah, just like,
And then she saw it was like not that big of a deal, I guess, and just started jacking it.
yeah, for sure.
But you know, like it's just other experiences. That's the best part. Like you know, I'll say one more. Like my little homie's first time leaving the country, first time drinking and all that. Like
Yeah.
he's mad young and shit like that. Was wearing an authentic crew neck like the whole trip.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And just like every day, he send me a photo of him like near the Eiffel Tower, or like having like a cheeseburger or something like that, and like he's wearing the same crew neck, and it's just like I've never been to France, like you know what I mean?
For sure. It's like it's about the people that are rocking it, you know.
Yeah.
It's not just about the brand itself, you know. You can kind of live, you know, just like shared experience is like the hugest thing, you know. I think like with what I've been doing, it's like I've just been trying to figure out how I can collaborate with people more, because like I realize that's what, you know, makes it so meaningful and inspiring, you know. So for people that are trying to cop some authentic, tell them where they go. Do you guys still have stuff in stock right now, or?
Yeah, actually we do. We actually released a sweatshirt. That sweatshirt I was talking about in 2 colorways. That's on the website right now. It came out yesterday. You can get it just at authenticwear.nyc. You know what I mean? You can always hit me up personally. Like I try to answer everybody that good type shit.
For sure.
And,
I'll link it in the description.
Yeah, for sure.
Flash the link.
Definitely run that up, and hey, even if you don't buy something, you know what I mean, share it. Fuck it, like I share it as much as I possibly can, just because it's like, hey, you know, this is what we got going, you know. And I think it's cool that like even if you just don't even buy something, but you just see it, like it goes a long way. Like that should mean something to people, you know what I mean? Like it means a lot to me. Like to see anybody wearing any shit that I thought of in my head is just like next level. Like I just can't ever wrap my finger around that. Like I don't think I ever will be like, okay, this is not cool no more. Like this shit is crazy. You know?
I feel that, because sometimes I'm like, oh, I think of an idea, I'm like, it's kind of stupid, and then you just like put it out, and you're like, people start rocking with it. You're like, well, it's just a stupid idea in my head, and I just put it out, and like some reason people are fucking with it. So you know, when do you have a drop coming up?
Well, I mean,
let us know what we got in store.
Well, we're trying to do like I said, the drop a month for the rest of the year. So if we got yesterday's drop, potentially the next drop will be April. The only reason why I say potentially is because like that's not something that we're gonna like necessarily like be stern and like stop ourselves from, because at the same time, you know, like we're doing it for the content aspect, whilst like there's nothing wrong with like dropping a collection, you know what I mean? So like that's just like what the plan is, and then we're just trying to do like sweatsuits and like definitely another fitted, because like that got really well received. Some new sweatpants, socks, all types of shit. I low-key had a crazy idea to make some jeans, so that'd be pretty sick if we could somehow put that together. Like, you know what I mean? That's pretty sick. Like some shits, you know what I mean? That'd be tight. And I definitely want to collaborate. There's a couple heads I want to collaborate with.
For sure.
Like I've been wanting to get the NSP collab.
Oh, that'd be fire.
Yeah. I've been wanting to get just like an artist collab with my homie Glocky and shit like that. Like design and such.
Those NSP the hats that Vinny put out, the real tree, the purple one too. Like those are fire.
Dude, I got the olive joint.
There you go.
I've been had that joint. That's a good cap. I just wearing it when
I still need to get an NSP hat. Vinny, if you're seeing this, you know.
Like, bro, hook him up. Throw him a cap. I know you got him.
I still have to send him shirts. It got lost in the mail. Yeah. I think they'll send them back to me eventually, but I don't know. I think it was because I just put Cal and Tony Seltzer on the package.
Oh yeah, that's not funny.
Maybe they're like, there's something, you know, fishy with this, but all right. You already know, hip hop made me do it. We're live with Biscuit, authentic. You already know.
Thank you again, bro. I appreciate it.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean.
I appreciate it.
Can't wait to see you. Like I said, bro, you know what I mean? Do whatever that you possibly can. Like, fuck it. Don't let anybody tell you nothing. Like, you have one life, you're one. That's all it is. Like, just go forward with it, bro. And, like, even if people not listening and so forth, fuck them. You know what I mean? Just, like, cut the middleman out. Like, do what you want to do.
sour, I got haze. You ain't got no fucking pass. You a lame. Nocturnal on my body, on my grave. Authentic, I got shotties, 12 gauge.